Well, the unrest in Bahrain is now spilling into the sporting arena. The boss of Formula One motor racing, Bernie Ecclestone, says a decision will be made next week on whether or not the season-opening Bahrain Grand Prix can go ahead. Andrew Potter reports.
The annual Formula One Grand Prix is the biggest event in Bahrain's calendar. Now, the growing unrest in the country has put F1's season-opening race event on March 13 in jeopardy. In recent days, scenes like this just a few miles from the race circuit have raised concerns. But the news that the GP2 Asia Series, which is one step below Formula One, has now cancelled its race in the country this weekend is a big blow to organisers. There's a lot at stake for the tiny Gulf state. Bahrain pumps hundreds of millions of dollars into hosting the event as a way of promoting itself. F1 Supremo Bernie Ecclestone has admitted the sport's high profile makes it a huge target for protesters.
Obviously, Formula One, it is a global sport. It is a big business. And whether that big business can align itself to a nation if that nation does not deal with these protests in a humanitarian fashion and respecting human rights, that is something that will become a question.
In 2 weeks, Formula One teams are scheduled to travel to Bahrain for pre-season testing. Much of their equipment is already on the way, meaning relocating the race to another country would be extremely difficult. Bahrain Grand Prix organisers insist the race will go ahead and say they're committed to making sure the event is safe for teams and visitors.
They're looking at a massive loss, not just from what they've spent this year hosting the race, but also building the facility as a whole. Who knows whether next year Formula One's going to go back there. I'm sure Bernie is using every trick in his book to try and get the race to go ahead. And whether he's threatening them, saying, look, if this doesn't work, then we can't come back here in the future.
The growing crisis is set to be discussed at a Formula One Teams Association meeting on Friday, while the sport's governing body, the FIA, says it's monitoring closely. Andrew Potter, Al Jazeera.